So, good afternoon. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, Santa ma'am. Thanks for asking. How about you?
Yes, I'm doing pretty well as well. So, are you having a busy day today?
Not really. In the winters, I don't like doing a lot of things because it's very difficult for me to do a lot of stuff because I feel really cold. So I did not do anything. I just took shower, then I did my worship. I went for lunch. After completing my lunch, I was just listening to some spiritual content.
Okay, you are a spiritual person. Do you get it naturally, or like even your parents are spiritual?
Yes, I come from a family where worship is quite, I would say, dominant, and I would say everybody does worship at my home. So that's the thing. But even though I'm spiritually inclined, I found myself into it, and that I feel like it's good. So that's why I like listening to spiritual content and all those things.
Okay, that is good. Also, when I see your channel nowadays, I think you're interacting more with native speakers, right? Because there are a lot of native speakers in your conversations. So, any specific reason, or you just enjoy talking to them, or you want to learn some accent or stuff from them? What's the reason?
So the first thing is that if we want to learn the language, it's always I think great if you get the language from the person who speaks this language as a first language, right? If you're learning from someone who is speaking a second or third language, I think they don't have a good idea about it. So always it is recommended to talk to native speakers. And second thing, I want to try something new on my YouTube channel. So at least I can get more and more views. Maybe the people like it. But I'm not getting views. That's another thing. But I like talking to native speakers because that is always beneficial for me, and I'm trying to do my level best for the people. At least they can understand that how to talk to the native speaker and what are the benefits of talking to a native speaker. Even though if I'm talking to him over audio call also, that is very helpful because I learn a lot of stuff that about the English language, many things. So that's why I'm doing it, and I'm trying to do it. I have a friend, actually I did my last video or few videos with Gordon, I think 3 videos. So he's from Scotland. So he's one of my friends. So I'm planning a series to do with him, and I will be making more and more videos.
Okay. So, since you have the experience of interacting a lot with native speakers as well and local speakers, Indian speakers, according to me, the major difference is I think they just put their guard down easily. They are quite friendly. And even with the first conversation, they're very friendly. That's what I feel. A less judgmental, a less complicated, and they speak very friendly, even though they're talking to you for the first time. But I think in Indian situation, it is a bit different. We don't let our guards down easily. So we are just there for the session. We talk, we finish. So what do you feel?
Definitely, native speakers are always helpful. They are not going to judge you in a way like Indians do, that they look at you like how terrible your English is. So, but it is not happening with, even though if you are not able to speak a single sentence, they will help you, that they will encourage you that you can do it. They will never ever say to you that your English is terrible, you have maybe the 95% mistakes you have done, all those things. And why I talk to native speakers, they are my friends. So they do not judge me, but what is very good thing is that they always correct me then and there, which I like a lot. So means whenever I'm talking to my friends, I have a friend Johnny from USA and this Gordon from Scotland. So whenever, even though if I'm doing general conversation with him, so yeah, just a few days ago I was talking about diverts. Okay, so just I was saying diverts. So he told me like diverts. What is that? Like divorce. Okay. Then I said whenever if I mispronounce any word or anything which is not suitable for him, so he always tells me that. So that is the good thing talking to native speakers, that always you are getting feedback if they are your friend and they know that you are learning this language. He knows that I'm doing this stuff and I'm trying to refine my language as much as I can. Talking to people, that's okay because we are enjoying the language, but we need to improve ourselves as well. So that's why nowadays at least I want to improve my English and I want to go just to advanced level. That's why I'm trying to interact with the native speakers as much as I can, and I'm trying to have a good connection with them. So it is going to be beneficial for me. That's why.
Yes, and also the pronunciation part. Sometimes when you say the right pronunciation in India, people think that we are pronouncing it wrong. So when I told somebody that I had dengue, so he was correcting, ma'am, it's not dengue, it's dengue. Then I told that no, no, the
Yes.
right pronunciation is dengue. But they don't understand that word. If you pronounce it correctly, they don't understand. So much of used to pronouncing it in a different way. Okay, so when native speakers,
Here.
there is a difference.
Exactly. If you will say dengue, they will say like, what? Dengue?
What?
Like they will say that you are incorrect, not they. So because yes, even though I would say like there is a word in the bicycle that mud guard, right?
Yes.
Mud guard just over the tire of the cycle. But in villages or what I learned, that is mragad.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Because in village, whatever we say, nobody says this mud guard. It is like properly English word, right? But the way we call it, it looks like Hindi word, mragad.
Hmm.
So I would say it is mud guard. They would laugh at me. That
They don't
man, are you
understand.
crazy? It is guard, not mud guard. So all these things are there. When you talk to a native speaker, they tell you that where you are wrong and where you are right. So mainly they focus on this phonetics, and Gordon is doing this stuff. He tells me the right sounds of the language and the pronunciation of many words, and sometimes he corrects with me with the grammar as well. Johnny does a lot with the grammar. He's from USA. So I like talking to them because even though if I'm talking to them, and sometimes I don't like it also because if I'm very much into deep conversation, but he would me correct me again and again as I was talking about divorce. So I was pronouncing this word every single time in a different way, and he was just interrupting. I said, just now you are able to understand that I'm talking about divorce, so don't interrupt me a lot. Tell me like how it happens there. So then he told me that, but he was telling that whenever I listen to this pronunciation from you, I feel like you're talking about something else. So that's how it is. So that is the benefit talking to native speakers. And because they mainly focus on this sounds of the language. If I am a Hindi speaker, so if anybody is going to talk to me, rather than focusing a lot on the grammar, first I will try to think like his sound is completely different. Then I'll go for the grammar as well, right?
Hmm. Right,
For
right.
a minute, it was.
Yeah, yeah, for a minute. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So I wanted to ask you, like, when you look back at the year 2024, so how was the year for you? Because we are almost come to the end of the year. So how was the year for you, and any learnings from this year? What would you like to say about it?
Yes, when it comes to 2024, so my sister got married in 2023, December 2023. So that was a big highlight in 2023. But I did follow a whole year because it happens, it is a custom that when your sister gets married, for the 1 year, you have to do proper follow up. You have to visit on every single festival or many times. So all these things I did, and it was really nice that we got actually new relatives. And in 2024, I tried to create a lot of videos also, but they did not work really well, to be honest. But I worked really hard and I tried to improve myself as an English, I would say, spoken English man or trainer. At the same time, I completed my master's degree in 2024, in the mid 2024. So that was a big highlight. And I started conducting sessions like full time. I was not able to accept this, that how would I be able to do that full time? And I used to feel that 1 or 2 sessions are more than enough. But now I'm conducting sessions as much as I can, like 5, 6, 7, 8, like that. So it depends. So that's what happened in 2024. And I'm trying to do a lot of things. And I improved myself as an editor, as a content creator, all those things I did in 2024. And nothing special, but looking forward to, and of course, at the end, I would be touching maybe 20,000 milestone, which is, I think, means a lot of me, but I would be looking for the bigger milestones. And I'm really working hard to look up to 50K or maybe 100K, but I don't know how long it will take for me to reach there. So, but I'm working hard for it. That's why I'm trying everything, talking to native speakers, because some videos, like, in some channels, talking to a native speakers is really helpful, but it is not going in that way in my channel. Because if you talk to someone on Cambly, I think then it works. But nowadays, all these videos are also not working really well. Even though if you are doing
Yeah.
conversation with the family tutor. So it is not going to work really well. In COVID-19, it was working so fast. The people who did conversation with the native speakers on Cambly, their channel is still, they got a lot of subscribers. So that's why I was trying everything possible to make it better. And I'm changing my thumbnails. I'm trying to do SEO more, a lot of stuff, but it's not working. In a last from the last 1 year, just your video was there, and I did video with the Rajani, which worked really well in this 2024. Apart from this, I did not touch video like which touched 20K, not a single video.
Hmm. Yeah, it is quite unpredictable because in COVID it was a new concept, talking to people online and posting the conversations. It was new to people, and there were tutors, right? They were fluent speakers, so it was nice to see those conversations. But now every other person is doing conversations, and the more choices people have, the more choosy they will become. So I think that is the reason views are like, it is quite confusing what people are going to watch. Sometimes you expect a lot from one video, it doesn't work. Sometimes I keep thinking like, should I even post this video? It's not worthy. But after posting, there are like decent amount of views for that video. So you never know what will work. We just have to keep trying.
Exactly. So I'm trying my level best to improve myself as a content creator and a spoken English trainer. Apart from this, if they like it, it's okay. I'm trying every way possible. That's what I did in 2024, and I'm gonna do same in 2025 to become better. Maybe I will invite a lot of guests from all around the world, country or all around the world. So if I
Mm,
come across from native speakers like Australia, England, or maybe America. So I will try my level best to do it. Yes, you are right. Now it's pretty common, and I would see a lot of channels now. Nowadays, you can see every single person is posting the same content because it looks very easy for them, and they do conversation and they upload it, and that's easy, of course, comparison to the solo content where you have to do a lot of planning and things. So that's why
yes.
it is. So nowadays there are many channels, and people always like new faces.
Mm.
That is also
Yeah,
one thing.
exactly. Exactly. Yes, see, since you learned English from COVID, that time,
Mhm.
right? And prior to that, you were not very, I mean, maybe you understood English, but you were not able to speak. But in my case, it is different. I have been learning, and I don't remember when I started learning and what things really helped me. It was not like a strategy, step by step planned method. So I thought of asking you, what is this thing been in English? But for a person who is learning English step by step, so how effective is thinking in English? How beneficial it was for you to become fluent, and yeah, and how to do that? I want to know from you.
Okay, so question is mainly related to thinking in English, right? Okay.
Yes.
So when I started learning spoken English in 2020, before that I was not very much interested in learning English or speaking English, to be honest. I was speaking Hindi proudly, that's what I would say. But when I started learning English, I found it really fascinating, and I started listening to English as much as I can. That's why I got problem in my right ear. I'm still just under treatment because I used my earbuds or earphones for a long time, like, maybe for the 3 years, day and night. So I used to listen to English content as much as I can. And I used to talk to people for 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours in 24 hours. That's what I did. So that helped me to become better. And when I started, I created an artificial environment 24 by 7. I was obsessed for English, and I was observed, like, that I would say very much immersed into the language. So that helped me to think in English. To be honest, my thinking language is still not English in that way. Whatever I think in Hindi till now if I go out. But when I talk to people, or if I'm doing some online stuff, I don't have to do something consciously. It happens. If I'm talking to you right now, I don't have to think a lot. It happens automatically because I did a lot of practice. So it just, it happens with the automation mode or autopilot mode. I don't have to do something for it because I live in here in Kanpur, so no environment of English, and nobody speaks English here. If I go out, I have to speak in Hindi. So, but if I would live in such place where I have to interact with people in English also, then it would become my thinking language also, that all the time I would think in English. But not like that. 24 hours I'm not thinking in English. That's what it is. So my thinking language is still Hindi, but actually due to the practice, whenever I talk to people, if I'm connecting for YouTube or if I'm connecting to someone to learn English, then English. I only speak English. And I make sure most of the time I talk to people who are from those states where they are not able to speak good English. Then it becomes compulsory for me to speak English with them. If I'm talking to someone from Delhi, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, then maybe I'll start speaking Hindi with them after a few moments, and it happens if they are able to understand Hindi. But I make sure I'm talking to people from Kerala, Tamil Nadu, or maybe Andhra, so they are not very much
Mm.
good in Hindi and they can't understand as well. So I talk to them, so it is compulsory for me to speak in English. So all these things I did consciously to become better in it. So only the listening was something which helped me to become better with it, and speaking as well. At the same time, I used to speak with the people for 6 hours, 8 hours. So if you are listening to
Mm.
people and answering them, for sure it is going to help you to become better.
I think especially when you're in a beginner stage, thinking in English, it is something really important for you. But once you gain fluency, I think it no longer matters because you're able to speak fluently even though your thoughts are not in English. When you are, it is like autopilot mode. You come across a person speaking in English, automatically you're speaking in English. And other times it's okay for you. So it is just work hard for 2 or 3 years, put everything you can and learn English. Later you can everything will happen
Yeah,
automatically.
it becomes like, your mind switches according to the situation. If you
Yeah.
talk to someone in Hindi, then you will be comfortable talking to him in Hindi. But yes, if I'm talking to someone in English, I don't have to do anything consciously now. But in past, yes, I did a lot of activities. I used to speak
Mm.
in front of camera. I used to talk to myself. If I'm just riding my bicycle, I would give motivation to myself in English, that if Malala Yousafzai can, then why can't I? If Greta Thunberg can do, then why can't I? Because we are in the same age and they are just doing a lot of work internationally. So why can't I do it at the same age? So all these thoughts I used to give, listen to myself in that way. And I used to listen to UK radio, US radio. I tried many applications. So most of the credit goes to a lot of applications I tried. Buddy Talk, Halo, Clubhouse, Hi Local, or CV, Speakify, I would say US radio, UK radio, Cake, many applications I tried to become better.
Oh, oh, wow. You have a really lot of research. And if a beginner wants to learn English, they should definitely contact you because you have all the strategy. You started from scratch, and even now people like look up to you for your English, for your accent. It's so good. So yeah, anybody can contact you for learning English from scratch. Actually, it's a good thing. Yeah. Okay, so since from next month we are going to be in next year. So what are your plans for 2025?
Actually, I don't really believe in that making a lot of resolutions. I believe in starting things whenever is the right time for that, rather than just waiting for this 2025 only I'll be starting. But I will be looking for the milestone. Maybe I am trying to grow my YouTube channel now because now I'm just craving for it. Now I cannot take it in that manner. I'm trying a lot of things to make it better because all of my fellow YouTubers are really doing well. So it is a big kick for me to do something so I can do well in 2025. But apart from that, it depends on YouTube that how it responds to me. So that's what my plan is. Or maybe I can move to any other city in 2025, maybe from Kanpur to Lucknow. I'm not sure about it, but I'm thinking about it. And for that, I'm looking for some offline opportunities as well. If I get any opportunity as an offline spoken English trainer, where I would be training them spoken English, then I would love to grab that opportunity. So that's what my plan is for 2025. Apart from this, I'm trying to improve my content skills, and I'm looking for, as I told you yesterday as well, I'm looking for just solo videos now, desperately, to be honest. That
Mm.
is only the one thing which is left now to try, that I'm thinking, let's see like it works or not.
But I think you have already posted some solo videos on the channel, right?
Yes, I did. Actually, that I did for my sake of my improvement because they
Oh.
were not related to spoken English. There, I told about
Mm.
my education journey. where I wanted to become better and feel comfortable talking to camera. Because I used to think, why, how can I talk to a camera? Like if I'm talking from the front camera, I'm looking at myself, that's pretty okay. But if I'm talking from a back camera or just speaking, then I feel like, how can I do it? But I feel like when I did few videos, I felt like, making videos from the rear camera is better than making videos from the front camera, what I feel. Because you are not able to see yourself, then you make better eye contact, because only you have to look at camera. But if you are shooting a video from front camera, you're confused, either look at camera or just your face. So that I understood, just by making those videos, and now I'm very much comfortable in doing it. But it takes a lot of time, means sometimes many retakes I have to take, even though, because I think like, oh okay, that's not good. So that's what happens in solo videos. But now I'm pretty comfortable in doing it. So now I'm planning to make videos related to this spoken English things, that how I learned English, what I did to improve my English, because those topics are really important for spoken English. Because nobody is interested, I mean to say, few people are only interested that how I did my graduation, how did I
Yes.
do my masters. So but I created those videos to become better and understand that how can I do solo videos. But now, because I started my journey by doing conversations most of the time,
Yeah.
I did conversations only, so I'm very much comfortable in conversations rather than in solo videos.
Mm. And has there been any moment that when you're anxious or nervous during a conversation? Because, yeah, I know you're fluent, but that thing is different when you're facing different people, especially when you are a stranger, native speaker, or someone very good in English. Sometimes we also feel a bit
Yes.
anxious before connecting.
Yes, talking to Indians or trainers, it was not there, to be honest. But sometimes, yes, talking to native speakers, I felt a little bit dry. My mouth was drying up a little bit. I felt that how I'm gonna counter that. But I did well. I mean to say, but it happens because talking to native speakers, I was feeling a little bit nervous. I mean to say, a little bit different feeling, which generally I do not feel with Indian speakers, even though if I'm talking to someone who is a very good post in India, and then it's not a problem. But when I did conversation with, actually, even though the Gordon or maybe that lady that I did
Mm.
conversation with, Colin, I did conversation with Catherine. So when I was talking to Catherine, I felt a little bit nervous at that time. And Colin also, when I'm interacting with that native, particular native speaker for the first time, I feel a
Yeah.
little nervousness because I don't know what kind of person he is, and totally different culture, different mindset. Because India, I know that what kind of people are there and all those things, and I we feel that actually familiarity because we are from the same country. So that's what happens. Otherwise, I do not feel like that. Only with the
Mm.
native speakers sometimes for a moment, but then I try to make more and more conversations, and it becomes really okay for me.
Yeah. So that is a good example of when you're scared of something, do it more often. What we
Yes.
tend to do, I'm scared of doing it and I can't do it, and we don't try it the second time. So I'm just asking this question because there are a lot of people who are scared to, talk to people or come online, approach, have a session. But I just want to say, no matter at what level of English you are, you're not scared because of your English. It is different because even when we are talking to some other people, though we are fluent, we are scared to sometimes a level of anxiety is there because people don't see that we are also vulnerable, we are also anxious at times just to look at our face. Or you're calm, quiet, you're confident while you're talking, so it is not the case all the time. We have our own insecurities.
Exactly. Why not? Even though this is the practice which we learned over the years for 2 or 3 years, that it does not
Yeah.
reflect from the face, even though I'm just feeling a little nervous inside. That's a different thing, but we feel, why not? Even though performers feel nervousness, because if they get on a stage and different kind of audience is there, so they get this nervousness. I have seen some, I would say, a lot of stand-up comedians, but they do not show from their face, but they are always afraid, right? Because the way somebody reacted in Mumbai, it is not sure that audience of Bangalore is going to react in same manner. But they try their level best, but at least they have also a little bit the problem inside, but they do not show it. So it happens after a long time also it would be happening. But only the thing is that do more and more, come out from that nervousness and try to do whatever you learned in the past years. And
Right.
accept when I talk to native speaker, I accept that I'm not a native speaker. So for sure, I'm going to make a lot of mistakes. but only what I can do, I can present myself the way I do in front of everyone. That's it.
Hmm. And also because of nervousness, we tend to make mistakes. So you cannot judge anybody from a 20-minute conversation, 20-25 minutes, because even when we are nervous, we forget things, and we go, no, sentence structures go here and there, no matter how good you are in English. So it is common. Mistakes do happen, but you'll improve with time.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. That's absolutely right.
Hmm. So anything else you would like to add to it?
Yes, I would say, as we talked about the fears, so only you can counter the fears by facing them. There is
Yeah.
no other option. If you feel that without facing all those problems, you are going to be better at it, not really. Even though, as I told you, I do conversation with the Goran, and to be honest, till now, I'm not able to understand him 100% because Scottish accent is one of the difficult
Uh,
accents in the world, right? When he talks video, he talk like a normal accent, maybe this international kind of thing. But when I talk to him personally, when I talk to him over the WhatsApp calls or any other personal calls, it's more difficult for me to understand him, because then he completely talks in that Scottish slang or like his country, and he thinks that I'm able to understand completely. But he asked me one day also that, Ashutosh, you don't sound a bit confident when you're listening to me. I said, like, I'm not able to get you properly. But he said, then I will talk to you in a manner I do on my official videos. Then I said, no, 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 no. Talk to just me in a way you do in at your home, because this is my work. Let me do it. I will work really hard to understand you whenever you talk naturally. You don't have to change yourself like the international platforms. You talk in that way. So it is difficult till now. I don't. Sometimes I'm not able to catch him, but then also I'm trying my level best, because Scottish accent, Irish accent, they are
yeah.
really difficult to understand.
Yes, yes. I really appreciate your hard work for, like, upskilling yourself and for your channel, whatever you're doing. So actually, it is a very good content, actually, bringing people from different parts of the world, because you have to listen and understand English from different parts. You also had a blind person also on your channel. So I just started that watching that video, but I couldn't complete it. So I'll complete it very soon. So yeah, so good luck for your YouTube channel. So it was really a very nice session, and I really like your accent. So it is not faking. You are talking like that, so even in speed you hold on to that accent. So I really admire that part. Every word is pronounced the same way, like you keep talking the same way. So yeah, good luck to you.
Oh, thank you so much. Many, many thanks to you. And it was really nice conversation again. So thank you so much, ma'am.
You're welcome. Bye bye, have a good day.
Take care.